Good morning, good afternoon, hello everyone. Hello, my midnighters. Last time I said my metaphors, which that is not correct. It's midnighters. It's a little chilly out here. Not gonna lie, it's a little chilly. How in the wiggly world is everyone doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, 28th of January, 2026. I almost said 2008. I'm telling you, it's a senior moment there. Let me tell you about trollers online, please. Can we talk about that just a little bit? These trollers, they either love you or love to hate you. You can't win without them, huh? On the spectrum, it means that they are watching your stuff and, at least trying to make your life miserable because they're watching what you're putting out and thinking that they can just walk all over you and whatnot because you're a YouTuber. And excuse me, I had the thing too close to the thing. What? No. Anyways, pause. I had the camera too close to the face. And I know y'all love the face. Don't lie. But I just, no. I'm not putting this camera near my face. Not everybody that loves watching my videos loves watching my face. You know what I mean? They're all wanting to watch what's going on out there, which is not much, because what's going on out there is just cars driving by. And I don't know if you just saw that, but that was a cool looking red car. Yes, it was. I'm looking at this screen instead of the camera. Hi. I got a question for the kids out there. First, kids that go to school, how was school? Second, if you're not in school, how was homeschool? If you're going to homeschool. How many knows what that is? Raise your hands. Good. And quite a few out there. Good. I got a topic that I want to talk about. It's a fun little topic. How can you tell if someone is being silly? And I'm not talking about in a negative way or anything like, oh, that guy is silly, I'm not going to hang around with him. No. I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about in a positive sense, such as, okay, I'll give you an example. One time, one of my cousins and myself, I was over there. Let's backtrack, excuse me. I was over there at her house, their house, them's house. What? Anyways, their house, and it was getting late in the night, and this cousin of mine, this family member, loves, to hang out with me any time of the day, and I don't understand why, but, I am kind of, cool in my own right. I'm not up to standards with many YouTubers out there, but I try my best. So, but yeah, I was over there one night, and it was later in that night. It was about 10, 11 o'clock at night. And so what happened was I was over there, and I've already said that. I was already over there. And we were throwing around a little, well, okay, it wasn't little. It was a big stuffed animal type thing. Huge. And the stuffed animal was a pink and orange type stuffy. It was, I don't remember exactly what type of stuffy it was, but it was a pink and orange type stuffy with a horn on it. It looked like a unicorn, probably. We were throwing that around back and forth. Of course, the table was in that area too, and there was like a bench that I was sitting on. She was sitting on the recliner that was actually within that area at that time. Everything's changed around, like, normal, but it was just really fun because we were throwing that back and forth. It would hit me and I'd pretend to be knocked out cold, or I'd pretend to be like flattened out or something like that, and I'd pretend that my brain got scrambled or something like that. Just something funny to make us, well, sillier than we already are. And it's those stories that, keep me going and keep me streaming, keep me relevant on YouTube. Not that I ever was, mind you. Y'all heard that, right? Okay. Anyways, not that I'm already relevant, but if I am, it's because of me being silly and those stories that I'm telling. Speaking of stories, how are you liking those stories on Saturdays? I'm working on one right now. Not going to tell you the title, but the other thing I'm working on is still the Israel pictures and the interview. It's a work in progress. Yes, English is my first language and gibberish is my second. What you just heard there was gibberish. Actually, I believe that gibberish is my native language because it was my mama's native. Come on, really? It's it's my mother's native language is gibberish. Oh, but so how many of y'all out there? And let's put this thing here like this. There. That way I can use both of my hands to talk with like I usually do. How many of y'all... Wow. That guy needs his muffler fixed. How many of y'all out there, and I'm talking about the kids or the adults, how many of y'all have funny and silly stories out there to tell? Just silly stories like I was walking in the parking lot with my mother of Walmart to go to Walmart, talking to her as I was walking backwards, because when you're walking, you're usually walking and talking, but you're turned around looking at the person, right? Nowadays, since I'm unsure about my footing, I will walk forward. Back then, I'd walk backwards. So, anyways, I was walking backwards talking to my mother, only to turn around only to turn around and find out that the sliding glass door has not opened yet. Well, I would find my surprise when I ran smack dab into that glass door, and yeah, my mama laughed like hilariously. I'm probably gonna have to blur that out because it's some imbecile who decides to blare out booming like music, thinking it's a good thing. By the way, folks, y'all young teenagers that drive, if you think people want to hear that boom, boom, boom in your music and in your car while you're driving by, think again. They don't. They don't enjoy that. And I'm not talking about older generations and everything. I'm talking about in general. In general, nobody wants to know what you're listening to. They don't care. They don't care to know what you're listening to. Sometimes the ones that listen to their radio or whatever they're listening to at a volume level that is appropriate is better. I'm going off on a rant again. I'm sorry, guys. It's just those booming... Yeah, no. Anyways. How are y'all doing? I probably have already asked that. If I have, forgive me, please. It's in your moment again. Like I said, it's not too cold, but it's not too hot. It's just right. Yeah, just ripe for the picking. It's generally time for kids to get off of school soon-ish. Well, at least the high schoolers, they get off now. The younger generation gets off about 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See what I did there? Kids, feel free to do the 6, 7 motion. Anyways. Yeah, I'm going to be posting shorter videos and blogs and whatnot for the kids later. But in this one, why not? Oh, I want to throw a special shout out to several people. A special viewer that I know watches the channel and sometimes comments is a girl. I'll give her that nickname because, she's top of the list to me. Well, one of the top of the list. The other is June Edits, and that's with a Z. She's on YouTube. She doesn't post much anymore, but like I said, if she does post ever again, I'm going to be one of those watching. Um, Willie underscore the gamer. He's really cool. I really like watching him. Art of Kicks, he's a bigger YouTuber, streamer. I don't really like, I don't know if he watches me at all, but if he does, thank you. The other shout outs are, you know, a channel that used to be is no longer on YouTube anymore. And I don't know. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, but I'll have to check. But his YouTube channel was Johnny TNT. I thought about, having a nickname called Johnny TNT. However, my name's not Johnny, so it's not gonna blow up all over YouTube like that anymore. And yes, I just did a wordplay. I'm telling you, when you get old, when you get to like what? How old am I? Yeah. Anyways, when you get my age, you start losing your train of thought. You start losing your mobility. You start losing what you were going to say, where you were going, what were you getting when you got there. Yeah, so I would not recommend getting old. Getting old is not really good. Sure, it comes with wisdom and everything because you've been there, you've done that. But in my position, in my experience, it came with heartache, troublesome, reverting back to things that I used to do that I have not done. Relearning the things that I have to relearn. You know, sometimes getting older is not always good. Other times, getting older is even better because you learn. You have learned what it means to change, what it means to stay positive even when there's a lot of negativity going on. You know, and I want to touch on this real quick. I'm not a political person. I'm not a huge YouTuber who believes in political stuff. But if people out there does not do something about the gun control climate, who, you know, does something about find the people who doesn't know how to handle a gun and take the gun out of their hand. Now, I know I'm going to probably get a lot of hatred in the comments for that, but gun violence has been on the rise lately. Violence in general has been on a rise lately. Hatred, racism, pew pew violence all over the place. Just hurts. There's nothing that I can do to like change anything but to pray. A wise lady once told me, prayer is the best thing that we can do. Not the only thing, but the best thing. She's right. And you know what? In the past, I wouldn't have said that. I would have been like, oh, you're crazy. But now I know she's right. So whenever you think, oh, my parents is crazy and blah, blah, blah. No, they're right, actually. Many times, like 9 out of 10 times, they're right. Because they've been there. They've done that, you know? So, and they're really hoping not to see you go through that. That is the reason why they tell you the stuff that they do, if they're good parents. Not going to go into that much today, but in future videos I will. So, anyways, this is your favorite neighborhood midnight metaphor, saying I love you, God loves you, and more importantly, your family. Okay, don't be afraid to come to us and be like, I need your help. Goodbye. Hello, Midnighters. How are y'all doing today? I just wanted to say thank you for stopping by and listening and watching and subscribing. And if you have not subscribed, why not? Please do so. I wanted to say thank you to all those who liked, comment, and just watched. Goodbye.